All right, so as requested multiple times, and I'm finally getting around to it, breakup spells. What are they? Well, obviously you're trying to sever a connection between two people. Could be for various reasons, usually because you're in love with one of them. But what exactly are you trying to do in terms of what kind of magic? Truth be told, there's some debate about this, but in my opinion, from everything I've read, breakup spells are by definition black magic. Now, doesn't mean that practicing the use of black magic isn't necessarily evil, but I say black magic because it is baneful. What a breakup spell does is, one, you should know this, the relationship has to already be toxic, like not in a good place, it's not healthy. Familiar with breakup spells because I deal with a lot of narcissists. I deal with people who like help get my sister out of this narcissistic relationship, help get my best friend out of this narcissistic relationship. Or more often than not, I get contacted by women who are like, I want to get away from this narcissist but can't. It's like, okay, you want me to hex your own relationship? And then, I do. So it's more common than you think. It makes sense. But a breakup spell, and you can say a souring spell too, they can be used in the same thing, but it sours the relationship. It takes the strife, the anger, the frustration, all the negatives that already exist, and amplify them to the point where they can no longer be ignored, they can no longer be excused, and one of the parties or both decide that they have to get out. And this is not evil in abusive relationships because, especially with narcissists, and I've done videos on this, the abuse becomes normalized over time. And that is very wrong, very dark, and very scary. It's like the victim of, I'm just going to stick with narcissists because it's what I'm most familiar with, but it can be physically abusive. There's other forms of abusive relationships, but that's the one I'm most familiar with. The narcissist will break the victim down over time and will, as I said in other videos, will normalize the abuse and make the victim feel that they are the best they can ever hope for. And they will destroy their confidence, destroy their self-esteem, and make them totally dependent on the narcissist and make their whole existence being serving the narcissist's will. Who they talk to, where they go, where they work, what position at work do they have, and of course, and most darkest, exploiting them sexually as well. So, where was I going with this? Yes. So in these situations, the abuse becomes normalized. It becomes all the victim knows, it becomes all they're used to feeling. What healthy and normal is so far gone that this abuse becomes normalized, and worse yet, it becomes comfortable. They see, like what bad is, oh, not that bad. Like there is no good, there's bad and less bad, and then they start to view less bad as good. So what a breakup spell can do in this point is to break that mindset, to make it so bad, or make them recognize how bad it really is. Basically see what everybody else can that they don't want to believe. And then they'll start to be vocal about it. And people who care about them around them will be like, yeah, it's been real bad for a while and you didn't want to hear like logic and reason or truth. And eventually that victim will become strong enough to accept how bad things really are and know they have to get out. And there's other spells you use in a situation like that. You want to use protection spells, and you want to use emotional healing spells and empowerment. There's no situation, very rarely is any situation one spell gonna fix it all. I get contacted by people all the time. It's like, I need a love spell. Didn't I do a video about why you don't mess with those? I did. It's pretty popular, for my videos. And it's like, I need one. Does this person have feelings for you? I think so. Well, that's important. Are they in a relationship with somebody else? Yeah, but this will fix it and make them want me. Yes, doesn't mean they're going to break up with the person and run to you, but back to breakup spells. So a breakup spell is a hex. It's a banishment. And depending on how it's used, it's evil. Sometimes it's not. If you're trying to break up a happy couple, I mean, I'm not saying it can't be done, but you're going to need like a really strong breakup spell and a lot of patience. Everybody thinks like, oh, the spell's cast. They should be broken up in a week. Why are they still together? Because, well, one, depending on what deity you're working with, they do things in their own time. And two, spells have to build. Sometimes certain spells you have to add to them, like souring jars. I got one. Like something like this. This is a form of a souring spell. You see all the black up there? Those are black candles. You keep charging it. And charge it until you get your desired result, and then you bury the damn thing. But breakup spells in particular take time. It is not uncommon for a breakup spell to take 3 months to manifest. And it all depends, like I said, not only on the relationship, but, the relationship itself, One, also, if it's a marriage, then you need a breakup marriage spell. And that's a whole new level of badassery. That's... you need an expert for that. But let's just say it's a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend. How long have they been together? Do they live together? How happy are they? Do the one that you're worried about, do their friends like the other one? Because that's important too, the outside influence. Things like that. How bad is it? How long has it been bad? Is it something that you need to sour from the beginning, or are you trying to break something that's already on the edge? These are things you have to consider, and you have to consider your intentions. And here's another kicker. Double-edged sword, you're messing with black magic, there's always a prize. So, with a breakup spell, if you're doing it, for example, because you want to be with one of them, don't think once it takes effect that you're just going to swoop right in. No, because that souring, that destructive behavior, that takes time to go away in most cases. So that person, especially if you're breaking up a toxic relationship, is going to need time to heal. You're not just going to like swoop in and play hero. I know, it doesn't work that way. I know, and I know everybody out there who's in a love triangle is like, God damn it, take my advice. Doesn't work that way. I don't do breakup spells for myself usually. I do them for, I have done them for people I know, but I'm saying not for like somebody I was chasing. It's usually, for people I know that are in abusive relationships, and I'm like, I must do something about this. Or I get asked to by somebody else, and I'm like, tell me why I should do this. Throw around the word narcissist enough, and it's like, yes, so mote it be. But be aware of your intentions of why you're doing this kind of spell work, if you're having it done. Be aware it takes time. Be aware of the dangers involved in it. These aren't reversible. Like if you're trying to break a couple up because one's being abused, that by definition isn't evil. But if you're breaking up someone just because it's like, I want to have a fling with this person, it's probably going to come back to haunt you. I don't know how. I'm not saying rule of 3 or any karma like that, but I'm not even saying magically it's going to come back to bite you, but it'll come back to bite you. A couple other things to note about love spells. Do they always work? No, nothing always works. They have a very good success rate if you're trying to help someone by breaking up a relationship that one of the parties wants to leave but feels they can't. An abusive relationship, for example, where it's like they know they need to leave, but they've been so conditioned to think they can't. Or conditioned to believe that that they're admitting how bad it is, but they think it's going to get better, and it's not. So, or obviously, if anything's physically abusive, you're in the right by breaking that up, because that'll only get worse too. All abusive relationships only get worse. If you're in an abusive relationship, be it emotionally, physically, sexually, financially, it only gets worse. Trust me, I've helped dozens, I don't know the exact number, but a lot of people get out of them and recover from them. It's kind of what I do. That's why the girls call me the breaker of chains. I know it's a cool title, and everybody thinks that Daenerys Targaryen, but it's really Lilith's title, you know, that she was kind enough to lend to me after my pact. It's how I fulfill my pact. But anyway, certain relationships, if they're like actually really happy, like actual twin flame connections, you might call it strife. You're not going to break that up. But those are rare. It's people that are fortunate enough to be with their twin flame. Most people are fortunate enough to find them, but you know, a true, as I talked about in my video, the funny thing about twin flame relationship is they require sacrifice, because your twin flame never shows up at the right time. Usually it's like, could you have picked the worst time? And then there's the whole like, wow, this is a really intense connection. It scares one of them, and you know, there's always complications. Very, you know, you have to decide if that whole journey is worth it. But I'm told that, you know, being with your twin flame in that way is like the most intense thing ever. Don't know. You know, don't know. Can't speak for that one myself. But there you have it. Breakup spells. Are they evil by nature? It depends why you're using it, you know. Can they work? Yeah. Are they fast? No. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind if you want to use one. Are you breaking this couple up because you're trying to save somebody, or are you trying to be with somebody? And if you're trying to be with somebody, how bad do you want to be with that person? And are you willing to wait long enough for that person to realize that they're in an abusive relationship, get out of it, and then recover from it, and then help them recover from it? And this is all assuming that the two of you have chemistry and feelings for each other too. So keep that in mind. Breakup spells are serious magic. It is black magic, but it is not necessarily evil. So use your free will, use your intuition, help those that are entrapped, free those that, you know, are living a proxy life, a slave to somebody else's will, and teach them to embrace their own desires and free will. Hail Lilith.